How we doing, folks? Back with another video. We're looking at expanding consciousness and getting in touch with our deep inner selves, the unseen, the unspoken, the suppressed parts of ourselves. And I want to talk today about the difference between anger and assertiveness. Maybe there's not as much of a difference as you might think, and we're going to talk about how we can tap into the internal anger energy to become more assertive in our lives. So stay tuned. I've long ascertained that anger and assertiveness are both the same energy. They both have the same source. One is reactive and one is controlled. So what happens when you are compulsively angry? A lot of people have a lot of problems with controlling this very volatile energy which comes out of you. It's a spike of emotion. It's something that begs you to tap into your animal self. You become purely reactive. It's a spike of energy, and you are either on the aggressive or you are running away. This is something that's evolved over a long period of time in humanity, and it's one of the most powerful emotions that we have. So it must be wielded with great care. You've seen the destruction that has been caused against other people when it doesn't have any sense of control or any sense of emotional maturity behind it. People become very lost in the spike of emotion. So how do we use this in a positive way? People who study Freud and people who study Jung, traditional psychologists and therapists will tell you that people who suppress their anger chronically are not very assertive in their life. The reason for this, I believe, is because we are innately afraid of our personal power. Oftentimes because we've seen that personal power being exercised by others in destructive ways. It might be an abusive father. Maybe it was bullies in school. Maybe it was a teacher who yelled and smacked you with a metal ruler. And each time that was expressed by someone else, it became a source of fear. And when you experience that fear in relationship to that energy of anger or hostility or aggression, you reject it. We choose the disempowering path, which makes us extremely submissive, unassertive, and fearful. When if we held that power, we would become strong, assertive, dominant. We would use our will to push ourselves further in life. We all have anger in us. It's like a fire. It's burning deep inside. It's always there, but are you using it? I see assertive energy as tapping into very similar the spike of anger that comes up, but then control and slow burn. Control and use the energy. That's how you become very assertive. You don't have to spike and then spike and then spike. This is a sign of internal weakness and internal vulnerability. It can also be said that people who are generally assertive in their life, who tap into that internal power, are less frequently angry. What I would encourage you to do is to sit with yourself. Give yourself some space, give yourself some time. Tap into your memories. Remember times that you have experienced anger and hostility in yourself, or anger and hostility from other people. How does it make you feel? What is your relationship? Do you feel disempowered or empowered? It is important to know where you sit, because you'll find that if you feel disempowered by the anger, you'll be probably more submissive than you need to be. If you feel incredibly empowered by aggressive energy, then you'll probably find that you have overexpressed it. What we really want to do is find the calm, centered balance in the middle. By embracing our anger, we become more whole as individuals. Some good practices could be to balance this anger out, is to do something cathartic. Some people choose to get their aggressive energy out through art. Some people do it through writing. Some people join boxing classes or martial arts. And this can be a fantastic way to, for both sides, actually teach yourself to be more assertive or to balance out and harmonize that aggressive energy into something more controlled. Either way, it actually brings you more into the center. A person who is more centrally balanced with their anger is a far more powerful person. It's like what Jordan Peterson says, become dangerous. This danger is having the potential to actually cause harm and to cause it, but to keep your sword sheathed. And in knowing how to wield the sword, how to control it, you become a leader in life. You become someone who people want to follow because when you speak, it holds a resonant energy, a strength. When you fully tap into this, when you know it, you become very powerful. And people will want to follow you. And you'll want to protect those around you who are worth protecting. This is something to keep in mind when looking at the anger passivity balance. Assertiveness is the goal, and through this, you'll find your strength and your courage. Reclaim your energy. Really come to know where you sit on that balance, on that scale, by going into your memories, by allowing yourself to be honest about your relationship with this power. And remember, you can't hide from it, because as long as you run and hide, you'll never be whole. You'll never be complete. And that's the message. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again tomorrow.